You are listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer, presented by Richard A. Boxshall, in which I chronicle my life and attempts to become a professional writer by, doing some writing daily, hopefully. Hello, it's Saturday the 22nd of June 2024. Welcome to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer. And I think the only way to describe how I'm feeling right now is probably post-submission apathy. So I've built myself up probably over the last couple of months to the point where I actually submit the book, which I did yesterday, as you heard on the podcast if you listened to it. And now I'm really struggling to motivate myself to do an awful lot, if I'm totally honest. I think the underlying sort of issues that I've got going on with anxiety and stuff probably aren't helping, because the one good thing about preparing a submission like that is it's an exceedingly good way of distracting yourself from a lot of the mad mind talk that your brain, or my brain anyway, inflicts upon itself. And unfortunately now I'm not concentrating that on as a big thing. That's back with a vengeance. So what I should have been doing today, should have done a live stream. The sniffing is because of hay fever, by the way, nothing more than that. But yeah, I should have done a live stream. I should be working on chapter 30 of Empress of the Trees. I'm actually in danger of not finishing that by the end of this month now, which isn't a disaster, because it will be, well, you know me and deadlines if you listen to this, which won't be a disaster by any means, because, if I extend it by a few days, it doesn't matter as long as it gets done. But yeah, and I suppose one of the things that hasn't helped, of course, is that it's the weekend now, so nobody's going to be looking at it. So I suppose that's the downside of submitting something on a Friday. There's a little side of me that likes to think somebody will have gone, I'll take this home for a look at the weekend, which, hey, for all I know, they may have done, but probably not. It's probably sitting in an inbox somewhere marked to be looked at later. So of the 3 people I submitted to, one of them's actually got quite a quick turnaround. It says I should hear back within 30 days, which is very interesting. One of them says 16 weeks, which I worked out takes me to the 11th of October. And then the other one doesn't say anything, so doesn't give me a deadline, so I'm going to assume it's another 16-week job. So I'm now going to be doing mental somersaults until that date. Actually, no, I won't be, because again, the reality is there will be other things to distract me between now and then. But so I'm just feeling a bit weird, and it kind of feels like a massive anticlimax, because the reality is I'm not going to hear anything for weeks. But I've built myself up to that moment, and now it's done, and I'm pleased that it's done. But one thing I would like to do quickly, my phone's just made a noise. It's an Uber Eats notification. I don't use Uber Eats, and I ought to delete it off my phone, especially when it keeps trying to tell me to buy things from it. But anyway, so one of the things I did want to do quickly in this podcast, which I probably should have done yesterday, but I was a bit overexcited by the fact that I'd submitted the book. I just want to thank a handful of people who've been instrumental in getting me from from writing it to now. So the history of the project is I started writing it in 2018 as part of NaNoWriMo. And I actually bought my first MacBook as part of that, and started attending meetings in Milton Keynes for the local NaNoWriMo group in November 18. It wasn't the beginning of the month, I think it was about halfway through the month actually. But one of the people I met there was Tani Campbell, who is the writer of the Bow Street Society series of books and short stories, the universe that she's created, really. And basically I'd just like to say thank you so much, because part of the reason I'm where I am is because of your encouragement, because I suppose I see myself as a hobby writer, and I didn't really believe anything would ever come of it, and it probably won't, but it definitely won't if I don't submit. So your gentle encouragement over a long time, because it's taken me a long time to get off my arse and actually do it, but your gentle encouragement to actually do something with the English Hikikomori over the last little while has been a large part of the reason why I actually have. So thank you very, very much for that. And also, help with the cover letter and stuff and bits and pieces like that. I mean, it does work both ways. I help you out. I recorded your audio book, which I'm looking forward to hearing eventually. I'm pleased to be one of your beta readers. But no, I would very much like to say thank you to you for encouraging me to get this far. There are other people to a lesser degree I want to say thank you to. One of them is my aunt, Roberta Boxshall, because she gave me a very, very detailed critique of the English Hikikomori, including a lot of little grammatical errors which I now am aware of, and is something I tend to do in my writing. In fact, because it tends to be the same little mistakes over and over again when she sent me back the manuscript. I've now got a list of the things I did commonly wrong in that book. So one of my checks before I call off or mentally mark a project as completed is I go through the manuscript looking for those errors. So yeah, thank you very much to you as well. And you are the main two, really. There's a couple of other people who've read it. I think Lorna Cherry I would like to thank as well, because she's read 2 of my books now. As a friend of mine I used to work with, she's read 2 of my books now, and again has given me some lovely feedback on both of them. I genuinely believe she likes it as well. It's not one of these things where you give friends stuff to read, and sometimes they probably tell you the things they think you want to hear, and I don't believe that's the case. I've received some lovely feedback about both the English Hikikomori and Still Life. She was genuinely eager to read Still Life, or certainly came across that way, after reading the English Hikikomori. So yeah, so there we are. That's where I'm at today. I'm not working tomorrow, and then I'm back to work on Monday. I've got a little New York run, and there's a side of me that thinks I should try and record the podcast somewhere interesting, like Times Square or something like that. But then there's a side that thinks, you'd come across as completely mad talking into your phone or your watch, standing in Times Square. And then there's another side of me that thinks, yeah, but it's America, I wouldn't probably stand out at all. But anyway, so thank you for listening. Thank you to those 3 people in particular for supporting me with the project. I will be doing more. Just not today, I don't think. So my intention was to do a live stream, but actually I'm looking forward to watching the Doctor Who finale. Yes, I know it's already on iPlayer, but I want to watch it live on television and have that communal experience of disappointment that always comes when a story's been bigged up too much. Yes, I'll be quiet now. Thanks everyone, and I'll be back at some point tomorrow, hopefully having a slightly more productive day. Bye. You have been listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer, presented by Richard A. Boxshall. Thank you for tuning in to my random ramblings, and if you'd like to know more about me or my projects, visit my link tree at linktr.ee/Richard Wright, capital R, capital W. Thank you for listening.